let's play a game. All right. On the count of three, name your favorite dinosaur. Don't even think about it. Just name it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
You want to go do karate in the garage?
Yup.
This is the Karate in the Garage podcast with Mason Merrill and Weston Toth. Hello, we are back. Once again, I'm your host, Mason Merrill, and with me today again is Weston Toth. How's it going, man?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a few weeks since we've been here again, but glad to be back here.
Yeah, lots happened in couple weeks? I think it's been 3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I guess, let's see. Yeah, about 3 weeks. It's we just both got kind of busy. I think you were busy one week and I was busy the next week, so.
I know, man. Last week I was ready to go, but you wanted to like hang out with your son or something.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Some
such
weird
a
stuff
lame.
like that.
Yeah, which we went and saw an awesome movie that we'll talk about a little later, but we can just talk about it now. We went and saw Wreck-It Ralph, and it was a lot better than I thought it'd be.
Nice. Did you I want to see that, and my wife loves the first one too. Was it as good or better than the first one?
You know, I hadn't seen the first one until after I saw the second one, and I definitely thought that the second one was better.
Really?
Yeah, I think I don't know, the story was much better. They kind of got it together, and I don't know, I just really, really liked it and how they put it all together. The movie was just funny, and it was a lot of fun. So.
Wow, man, that's interesting that you say that. That's not the case. I think the only couple movies that the second one was even as good is like Toy Story, Toy Story 2, and even the third one. Those were sequels that were as good as the first one, potentially.
Yeah.
But like a lot of other Disney movies, the second one comes out and you're just like,
Yeah, it's not as good. But yeah, I don't know. It was really good. Like, I think they're trying to pump all these old movies too, and get them back in the limelight kind of thing. So I like this story a lot better, and it kind of expanded off the games into the internet and things like that. So it was cool. It was fun.
Yeah, there was a lot of it seemed like there's a lot of like pop culture references and stuff that wasn't necessarily just I know in the first one they had a couple of those references, but they were pretty small in comparison.
Yeah, and it was cool because it was aimed at like little kids to watch. Like Axel, my son, he loved it. It was like he's still talking about the movie, but also it was pretty funny and enjoyable for me too. So
nice, man. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go see it. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, you should.
So cool.
Yeah, he was pumped about it. Anyway, but what we are doing today is we are talking about Aladdin on Sega Genesis. So it's been a few weeks since I played the game. Just so I'm gonna have to like refresh my memory a little bit about it. But overall, I walked away like having a lot of fun with this game. So
yeah, I did too. I have really fond memories of this game, just because Aladdin was one of my favorite Disney movies growing up in general. And this game, I mean, I remember beating it as a young kid and really enjoying it, but coming back to it, same thing. Had a real nice time. It didn't disappoint me, at least. It was one of the few games that we've played that I played as a kid and we've played again, and I was like, wow, this is still super enjoyable. I wasn't trying to rush through it just to get a review on. I was taking my time and I definitely enjoyed it. So
yeah. So as far as like the main game, it was pretty simple. Like the whole thing was pretty simple. Obviously it's just like you either slash them and they die, or you throw an apple at them and they die.
yeah, true.
Yeah. So, but the graphics were like, for the time, I always say that, but they were pretty good. The animations and things like that, I really enjoyed it. And like even like zooming in on the characters, sometimes their face can be kind of blurred and stuff. And I thought Aladdin's face was really crisp.
Yeah, no, so actually this is a good question. Was Genesis the one with better graphics or not as good as graphics as SNES? I know they were close, but one of them was definitely better. Do you remember?
I think Genesis was touted as being a little better, but
Just a little bit, right?
I think they both had their moments of, oh wow, that was good, or oh wow, that one was good, So,
Yeah, for sure. I thought the animation was really good too. I
hmm
liked when I just little things where like when he was climbing on a rope, you could actually see his hands, his fists actually like grab jump and then grab into a fist, and his like the body language, the yeah, I mean overall it was good. I like the depth of it too because it was a total side scroller, right?
yeah,
Left and right, up and down. But like there was a lot of parts in the games where you'd have to jump from like things in the background would move forward. Like remember I don't know if you played the level or how much you played of it, but the dungeon when you're in Agrabah, there was like the bowling balls would go back, or not bowling balls, like wrecking balls,
yeah,
traps, and you'd have to miss them. So that
yeah,
was like a cool graphic that they had, and it was just playing on yeah, like on the graphics, and then the stones would come out. You'd have to jump on them, and then they'd almost like shift from one to the next. You'd have to jump on one, and then they'd shift again. You have to time it right. So, and even
yeah,
like with things that didn't look like you could, you're like, oh, where do I go? I see some stairs, but they're almost like painted on. But you could, the mechanics of the game is once he was kind of looking up, that meant like you could jump on something.
yeah, yeah. Or you walk to one side of the screen and then you come back the other way and you're walking up the stairs or something like that,
Yes,
which was cool. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was cool. That was that was a cool little mechanic. Kind of made the world feel a little more like real in some sort, of case, instead of just like a animation background, like a picture of that's the background, So it kind of made it come to life a little bit more. So as far as all the levels, I really like the differentiation of a lot of the levels, because Agrabah can be really just the same thing over and over again, kind of like Star Wars was that we played a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and it wasn't that. So, like you mentioned, they had the dungeon, they had obviously the tomb, and Agrabah and Jafar's castle and things like that. So I really liked that aspect of it. It was pretty different, the levels and stuff.
Yeah, because obviously at this point in like game design, they could only do so much with what they had like mechanics wise. But this one had a lot of variety, I guess. It's the same thing. So you had Agrabah, and then the desert, and then you came back to the like Sultan's dungeon, and then you went to the Cave of Wonders, and then you had like a couple cool things is you had like the carpet ride out of there, which was fun.
Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah.
I really like that. It was simple, but
hmm
it was kind of nerve-wracking because at the very end of it, instead of because it basically had arrows like where you go up and down, it gets faster
Yeah.
and faster, and at the end of it, there's just question marks. So you just have to kind of like choose one.
Yeah.
It was super exciting.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was that part was really fun, and I liked that the game had checkpoints, with the genie's
Hmm.
head, you hit the genie's face,
Yeah, me too.
and you get checkpoints so you can go back to that point. And I thought it was well balanced as far as getting extra lives and things like that. I didn't
Hmm.
like ever run out and have to like continue or anything like that, which was cool.
Mm-mm.
Um, and and as far as like the checkpoints, there wasn't just one in a level. There was like three or four because the levels got kind of lengthy.
Hmm.
So you didn't have to go all the way back to the beginning. Every single time you died or something.
Did you trade your? So they had the you got apples that you could throw,
hmm
and then they got the gems where you could trade in. So like you at the end of the level, it didn't just stop. Like you had to find the peddler, the traveling peddler,
Yeah. Yep.
and in the round, and then if you had like 10 gems, you could trade for like an extra life or five or whatever. So that was kind of cool. And then if you got the genie, you got bonus rounds, or the Abu, you got bonus rounds as well. So if you got either one of those, you get like a roulette with genie, and then Abu, you just had this thing where you could collect more gems or more extra lives, where things just fell from the sky. It was really cool.
Yeah, I thought those were cool little bonuses that made it a little more world building. Like, there isn't just what, like we said, just a side scroller. There was like a little more like actual depth to it as far as like a store where you buy stuff. Almost like a RPG game. Today. Where you can buy like lives and different things like that, and the little slot machine game at the end of every level, where you're trying to get all the extra stuff, which that was cool too.
Yeah, for sure. It was so the film came out in 1992,
Hmm.
and then this game came out in November 11th, 1993. So I basically, as soon as the film was done or like it came out, it says here that they began the game in January, and then was released November. So they were definitely riding high on some juicy Disney money.
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny because this game was produced by Virgin Interactive Entertainment, like Virgin Mobile, the same company.
Yeah,
And so that's kind of cool. The Virgin Interactive Entertainment's no longer around anymore. It closed up. It looks like in 2003, but it produced a lot of these type games like The Lion King, Aladdin, RoboCop, The Terminator, things like that, Street Fighter, um, different games like that. So it was I thought this was definitely a win game for him, and it also came with great like great critical reception as well.
yeah. No, it got, I think when it came out, what, like 9 out of 10, 4.5 out of 5 type deal.
Yeah,
It was good.
IGN gave it 8 out of 10, and they're usually the most critical, kind of thing. So,
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I liked it. The art was good. Level
hmm
design was cool. Let me look at my list here. Yeah, and the gameplay and the controls, they felt fluid as well, which especially like an old game like this that doesn't have too much. You want it just to play easy,
yeah,
like it to be responsive, and it was.
yeah, definitely. There was no lag or anything like that.
Music was sick too.
Yeah, the sound was cool. It like felt like the movie, or I even kind of related it to playing the Kingdom Hearts, the Game Boy Advance game. The music in
Mm,
that, it was kind of similar, you know. So,
yeah.
and even the animation was a little bit similar to that game. Uh, but yeah, overall fun. I had a lot of fun with the game. Enjoyed it. Would I replay it? Probably not at this point, just because we're playing so many games. But it's definitely was just fun to revisit this one.
Yeah, I don't think I mean, I had a I pretty much played, I did play through the entire thing. So I don't think I'll replay it again, but is it worth picking up if, someone wants to have a good like adventure side scroller? Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
like overall fun, I'd like a close to I probably had at least like a 4 out of 5 fun, if not like 4.5. It was probably
Hmm.
one of the easiest played games that just brought me back to some good feels, and I just had like I thought the game was well designed. I liked it.
Yeah. The only real thing that I felt like it lacked was more of like boss battles that were more fluid. I guess it just kind of
Yes.
like you walked up and it was a boss. Besides Jafar, obviously.
Yeah,
Um,
very true.
Yeah, so like it could have been a little more definitive with that kind of stuff, but the last boss fighting Jafar was pretty much exactly what you think it would be. You start out in a little wheel room with with the what's the parrot's name?
Oh man, I can't even remember. What the hell is this
Iago.
guy's name?
Sorry,
Yeah,
Iago.
Iago.
Yeah, yeah. And then you beat that little section, and then you go like eventually make it to Jafar's area, and then you fight him as a snake, kind of thing. So
Yeah. I mean, the last battle definitely felt like a boss battle.
yeah,
The other ones didn't really feel like they kind of. It was, and so that was the one thing. The programming on the like even the mini bosses was so um lackluster, I guess, because they just
yeah,
did like they didn't really even jump or do anything. Like once
hmm
you could almost stand in the like one spot and just attack or throw an apple, like jump and throw an apple, and
yeah.
they just
That's
went
definitely
down.
what I did. Some of them,
Oh yeah, a
yeah,
lot of them.
yeah, they were just like a bigger version of the regular enemies.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
But one thing that I wanted to note on this game sold 4 million copies worldwide at its release, which made it the third best Sega Genesis game of all time. And if you're not looking at it, guess what the other two were.
Um, Lion King was one of them.
No,
Dang it.
Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Oh, I should have known. What am I thinking? I'm an idiot.
So that's pretty really good, like, for a game to follow those two, which were the face of Sega, Sega Genesis, which still is the face of what is left of Sega,
Yeah, no, very true. Man, I did not even. Oh, I don't know why I said. I think I had Lion King on the rank because we were talking about it before the podcast, and I'm just like, it's got to be the Disney movie because if this was number third, it has to be number two. But no, like Sega definitely makes sense. I mean, that's because everyone when they bought a Genesis, they would buy Sega. Yeah, like Sonic the Hedgehog, like 1, 2, or 3, and a console. That's what everyone bought. Everyone had at least Sonic in their living room because he was like the Mario of Sega.
Yeah, yep, exactly, and which is cool because in Super Smash Brothers he appeared to fight Mario. Finally, the battle we had all been waiting for.
I know, even though technically, I mean, even when I had a Nintendo, I think just because our good buddy Spencer, he had a Sega Genesis and I had Nintendo. I always wanted to play Sonic when I went to his house, and
Yeah.
Mario, like as a character, Sonic was definitely cooler as a kid to me, but
Oh, yeah.
Mario's outlived Sonic, 10-1 easily.
Yeah. It was kind of like I viewed it as like the forbidden fruit because like I didn't have a Sega Genesis and I
Same.
always like wanted one,
Yeah.
And then when I finally got Sonic on PC, oh man, back in the day, like 97, 98, I bought it for like $10 at Walmart or something on the disc. And it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
the Sonic collection, and I was
Ooh.
like, these games are so good. I had so much fun with them. So anyway.
Yeah, same. No, I think we had a very similar. The only console that I think we have different actually was you were really into PlayStation, and I never had a PlayStation. I had
PlayStation 1. Yeah.
PlayStation 1. I had a PlayStation 2, and we both obviously had that, and that's like one of our like connections when we first met. Is we both had PS2 and we liked Digimon and all that stuff.
Oh,
But
yeah.
PlayStation 1 was the one thing that like other people had, and I never got into because I just didn't like the graphics and everything else is weird. Like I don't know why, I just didn't have one. Had a well, I didn't even have an N64 when they came out. I had one like afterwards when I could buy my own because my parents wouldn't buy me one.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah,
But
we had an N64 as well. But yeah, definitely I was on the PlayStation train for sure. And I got a PlayStation because like I really wanted to play the Digimon games that came out for it because I was a huge Digimon fan. So
yeah, for sure.
and still to this day I play those games.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I like Sonic was so cool because I went from, Spencer having one, wanting Sonic, everything about Sonic was so cool to a Dreamcast, and the first game on Dreamcast I had was Sonic Adventure 1, which
that was one system that you had that I didn't have until like a lot later in life.
Yeah, remember like I think I almost got rid of mine and you bought one after that.
Yeah, because it was cheap at EB Games back in the day, which is now owned by
Dude,
GameStop.
Yeah, EB Games. That's very true because I think they finally were because everyone was trading them in because they weren't really making games for them anymore. So you bought one on the low, and we still played it. We played like NFL Blitz and stuff like that.
Blitz and Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, which was those
Both
two
of them
games
are insanely good.
Were worth the Dreamcast in its own. But anyway, with this game, back to Aladdin a little bit here.
Back to Aladdin.
Just a couple wrap up things. The Westwood Studios worked on this game as well. They were the designer, and they had pitched a second Aladdin game that would have had like Donkey Kong rendered graphics, but got turned down. And they later had worked on the Lion King game. So.
Oh, perfect. So that makes sense because the Lion King it gave you the same kind of feels.
Yep, exactly.
Very, very true. Cool.
Yeah.
So what's your rating?
I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5.
I agree.
5 genie lamps out of 5 genie lamps.
Yeah, this is the first game that I felt like it completely lived up to what I wanted it to be. I don't really have any qualms besides them not being like a boss. But even in Aladdin, there wasn't really bosses. I mean, Jafar was just the boss,
Yeah.
and like one of the bosses would have been like the getting out of the Cave of Wonders, and that felt pretty epic. So I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, so cool. Well,
Cool, man.
glad we did that one. We'll have to talk here in a little bit about what we're gonna play next. But what I have been playing, and I know you recently got as well, is Pokemon, Pikachu. Let's go Pikachu.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go Pikachu.
Did you get Pikachu or Eevee?
So I was gonna get Eevee because I know you had Pikachu, but
Yeah.
I was looking on like the exclusive Pokemon, and all the ones for Eevee sucked. It was
Yeah.
like you can get Grimer, or like you can have a Meowth, and I was like, I don't want any of these. And the
Yeah. So,
Pikachu one had like Arcanine, and I was like, I definitely have to get that. So.
oh, see, like I kind of wish I'd got Eevee now,
Oh, really?
because like Vulpix, bro, like Vulpix is one of
Oh,
my faves.
you know what I should have gotten Eevee, and then we could have traded.
Traded, yeah. Oh
I can
well,
still take
it's
it back. I literally got it like 3 days ago, so maybe I'll go
but you
like
started
trade it.
playing it already.
I'm not I just defeated like Brock, so I'm like through Mount Moon right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
do
literally
it.
I just got to I just got to Misty's town,
Oh, okay, cool.
so I
Yeah,
can always take it back.
I'm in Fuchsia right now, so I'm pretty far ahead.
Oh, that's like second or third to the last,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you
third to
Fuchsia and
last.
then Blaine, which is the volcano one, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
and
So
then
I'm currently on
Fuchsia,
my way.
Blaine.
I'm in Seafoam Islands. I gotta go back. I had to do the old Game Boy trick where you don't save your game at one point, because you didn't catch Articuno.
Articuno.
Yeah, Articuno. Yeah. Um, he got like I didn't have enough Ultra Balls and berries and stuff to catch him, so he just kind of like snuck up on me. I'm like, oh, I'll catch him. It'll be easy, and it was just like the old game where it wasn't. So
Yeah, especially because I mean, the old game, you had to, like, I always got him down to, like, I mean, literally, like, 1 health, and
yeah.
then sleep powdered him. I always just kept one spare Butterfree just for sleep powder.
Hmm.
You had to put him to sleep, and then with Ultra Balls, it took, like, 50 Ultra Balls. Stupid.
I didn't even think about. Oh, yeah, I don't know with berries if you can put them to sleep, but
I don't think you can.
in the game, basically you fight them and beat them, and then you get a chance to catch them.
Ooh. Oh, it's just
Huh.
like Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it's kind of like a raid. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it, though. I've literally
Hmm.
just, I mean, I've probably, I think I played an hour and 50 minutes, like, not even 2 hours yet, and this is the game that, I mean, let's be honest, Pokemon Red and Blue original when we were kids was probably one of the best games we've ever played, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
Still one of the best games I've ever
Still
played.
super fun. This is just like passing down the gauntlet to everyone. I mean, we're grown men and we played it, but
Oh yeah.
this is passing the gauntlet. Like if your son ever,
Hmm.
in a couple years, like he wants to start actually like playing it and he can understand what to do. This
Yeah.
game is super easy to get into. The graphics are incredible. It's amazing. It's really
Yeah,
really fun.
it is so cool seeing this game reimagined like we
Yeah.
wanted it to be back in the Game Boy days. Like, oh, it'd be so cool if I could play this like on my Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
With those graphics. But it's obviously way more better or way a lot yeah, anyway, a lot better than it was like the graphics we could have ever thought back then.
Yeah, and it's not even, I mean, if you think about it, it's not even touching the Switch's potential at this point.
Mm-mm.
And I know the next one they have coming for 2019 is going to be it will be a full like
Mainline.
RPG. Yeah, like
Yeah.
RPG. Hopefully it'll be like an RPG, like an MMO, not where you'll play with people directly all the time,
Yeah, they've been real sketch about it, so we'll see. Yeah.
but it's definitely going to be its own new thing. I don't think they're going to just redo one like this.
No, I don't think they're gonna. It'll either be like a brand new like Sun and Moon mainline game, or something totally different. But they haven't really announced what exactly it's gonna be.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting, but I like where it's going. They've just worked slowly over the years, worked out all the kinks to what
Hmm.
makes Pokemon games really fun and like even the depth of it, like having um, stuff that you can, I don't know, like there's items that you can like attach to your Pokemon, like that started later on, but then they brought a lot of those things, those little things back and applied them to like the original game and like Red and Blue, the original, like so they brought more depth to it and redid the graphics and then made the catching system where you're not having to run. You're like, oh, I'll just catch this guy and level up my Pokemon.
Yeah, it's super fun. The and the other thing about it I really like is the catching system. You know, it's not you get into
Yep.
and then fight them, beat them down. You can just catch them like Pokemon Go. You know, so that's really fun. It adds like a new aspect, and then you're not walking around the grass. You can actually see what Pokemon you're running into and things like that, which is cool.
Yeah. Um,
So you're
I've
not trying to
definitely.
catch a billion Caterpies.
Yeah, I like being able to see it, see the things walking around because if you see something cool, like
Yeah,
I was in Mount Moon and there wasn't that many Clefairies,
yeah,
and I found like one, and I had like the powerful thing around it, so I was like, oh snap, and it
yeah.
was hard to catch, but I got him and he was high level, and um, it just I don't know, it adds kind of excitement to it for sure.
Yeah, and then I actually caught a Clefable in Mount Moon,
What?
which was cool. Yeah, yeah. I was just like,
Dang.
oh my, oh snap, that's a Clefable. That was pretty. It's pretty cool to see all the rare Pokemon, things like that. So, um, yeah, and I like the aspect of adding another player to play with you, so that actually runs around on the screen and stuff like that.
Wait, you can do. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so basically you take the other Joy-Con and like turn it on and shake it, and then another player will like teleport in, and you can fight alongside it, you and run around with you and catch Pokemon with you and things like that.
Huh. Cool.
Yeah,
Can
it's
can
cool.
you
It
can
adds,
you play co-op? Like, can we play together or no?
if we were in the same room. Yeah,
Not over eight
yeah,
hours worth of driving.
nah, nah, negative.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but you can battle online, which is cool. Like you and I could battle over the internet and
Oh, very
trade
nice.
and all that stuff. So.
We can trade too. That's nice.
Yeah.
So, how does it just I'm going into this completely blind, so I'm hoping that you know. How does it interact with Pokemon Go? Like, can some of your Pokemon from the Pokemon Go be transferred to the game and you can have them in the game, or vice versa? Or do you just like have a hangout park?
Yeah, so I just got to that part in Fuchsia City. Is
Hmm.
they've replaced the Safari Zone, which is kind of lame, with the
That
Pokemon
sucks so
Go
bad.
Park. Yeah, so but what you do is you just transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go into the Go Park, and then you have a chance to catch them, and then you can use them on your team.
Oh, you have to like recatch them in the game.
Yeah, yeah, in the Go Park, but it's not hard. It's not hard to catch them. But it's just like one of the things you have to do, and it then you can use them in the game. They're usually by the time you're at that point, like even like a pretty strong Pokemon Go Pokemon will be like level 30, and I'm already like level up in the 40s
Hmm.
by that point in the game. So you have to, if you're going to use them,
So,
you have to get them. But what's really cool is you can put their it's the only the first 150, but you can put their Alohan versions in them too, which is cool.
oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah. So I have like an Alohan version of Golem right now.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and Sand Slash as well. The Ice Sand
The
Slash,
ice
which is
one,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So can you level them up in the game and then transfer them back to Pokemon Go?
No.
You-
Once they're out of Pokemon Go, they're gone. So
Okay, so they can't be traded into
mm-mm.
Pokemon Go. They can only be traded into your game.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
one way.
But if you trade them into Pokemon Go, you get like candies for them. So that's pretty cool. In Pokemon Go, the mobile version.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. I'm glad I know the interaction. I'm pretty far away from that, so once I
yeah.
get there, I'll be able to do that. But I'm
The
kind of getting
game,
back on the Pokemon Go train anyway.
the cool thing about it is the game and all the dialogue and everything is spot on with those old games. So it's like they took all that in there and put it in a 3D environment, which is really a lot of fun.
Sweet, dude. I love it. Love everything about that. Just makes you excited for the next thing.
The
That if this
future,
is so
yeah.
good, yeah. Like
And
what's the next?
and it's cool they're taking their time on this next project, but at the same time, like, have given us something. They could pump
Hmm.
out something that didn't. As far as the graphics and everything, it took them a lot of work, but as far as the content, wasn't a big deal for them.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, with how much money is pumped into Pokemon, I
Yeah.
and I mean the graphics are nice and they're fluid and everything, but it's not anything wild. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's fun though. On another Pokemon note that just led me to think, have you seen the live action trailer for the Pokemon movie starring Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu?
Oh, Detective Pikachu?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think about it?
Um, I think it's interesting. I think that if this, what I like about it is number one is all the Pokemon, like the real version, or basically the real world animated versions. So they did Pikachu obviously, but in the trailer it showed like a lot of other ones.
Yeah.
They look really cool. I don't know about this movie, like how it's going to turn out. It seems kind of silly, but if this does well, it will open up them being able to spend like a lot of money on something like a serious, fun, real life Pokemon one, rather than
Yeah.
it just being like, because kind of just looks like a comedy, because if
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Reynolds is in it, then let's
Yeah.
be, which is fine, and I hope it's really good. Hey, I'm all in. If it's
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon and they're gonna somehow, if this can even open the doorway for a serious Pokemon movie, or if there's going to be like real battles or action scenes, like I don't know, because even like the Bulbasaur, they look so cool, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. As far as
I'm
the
definitely
animation
for
and
it.
everything,
It's going to be weird though.
yeah, it's definitely going to be weird. And I'll probably see it. It'll probably be one of those like rainy afternoon, mama needs a break, take the kiddo to go see it kind of thing.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I'll have to. I'm pretty diehard with the Pokemon, so I'll probably be there opening night. But
Yeah.
if if it bombs and is completely like bad, then that's gonna suck. If it's even halfway decent, then they can pour money into other like Pokemon movies that are um, like live action type deal. Like I think that's so cool. If
Yeah.
they do it right, it's gonna be amazing. But if they do it wrong, man, there's gonna be such an outrage, and there's like people are just gonna get death threats. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, yeah, it will be for sure. Yeah, anyway, I was very mixed on the trailer. I was like, "What is this? Like, what is this like?" I know it's not April, but is this an April Fool's joke?
I
A
thought it
little
was
bit.
too, because there's been other things like when they do that with Zelda or Mario,
Mm-hmm.
or and you're like, oh, this is kind of cool looking, but they've just taken graphics in general have gotten so good that I was like, did they just take like a weird CGI cutscene out of like one of these games? But
Yeah,
no, this is a real movie.
yeah. Oh, another thing is, speaking of like good CGI and stuff, the new Lion King remake looks like amazing
Yeah,
as
I
far as
mean,
that kind of thing.
yes, it does. And I think all of those is they realize the audience and what kind of legacy they have to live up to with all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I I think in general, especially with like all those movies, they know that they have to nail it, or else you know
They're gonna
people are just
fail it.
yeah. Oh, I mean, they can't just do an okay job. They have to nail all these movies because
Yeah,
these are like crazy hard cult classics, and people I think are just much more judgmental these days than they
yeah,
were like when they do like a spinoff of like movies back in the day. It was just like, oh, this sucks, whatever. But now it's like, are you gonna make a live action movie and
yeah.
pour hundreds of millions of dollars into it? It better be amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It
I
looks really good. It's
Yeah,
that looks awesome.
I think
But
Donald Glover's playing Simba too, which is awesome.
yeah, and James Earl Jones is reprising Mufasa, so that's pretty cool.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, and I just saw that they're doing. Speaking of Aladdin again, they're doing a live action Aladdin movie as well for next year.
Who's gonna be Aladdin though?
I don't know. Let me click it. It
Donald
was,
Glover is Lion King, and then Matthew Broderick.
let's see, starring Will Smith is Genie.
I like that. I like that a
Yeah,
lot actually.
yeah. Let's see,
Just
cast Will
because,
Smith,
yeah, I like that. That's a good
Mina
casting.
Masoud. I don't know who that is. Naomi Scott is Jasmine. Oh, she'll be pretty good.
Live action cast. Let's see.
She was Naomi Scott was the Pink Ranger in the Power Rangers recent remake. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who this guy is.
Naomi Scott. Oh yeah, she'll do well. She's cute. So don't mess with my Princess Jasmine. That's my first crush. I was like 4 years old. I was like,
Oh man. Yeah, I wonder when they're gonna release the trailer to that. Oh, it comes out like soon, like May 24th.
Oh really? I think they had like a teaser trailer, but nothing else.
Okay, I need to go look it up then.
Mina. Huh.
And
Well,
also, the Avengers 4 is about to drop a trailer, which is gonna be sick.
is that going to be the last Avengers? I think it is.
Probably, I would say they just need to wrap it up with a bang, kind of thing. Because from that point, they'd have to do like the new Avengers, and like these are the people we don't really want to see being Avengers, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know how you bury your head into all that because there's been so many different versions of the Avengers, which is
Hmm.
fun. It's fun, but that world has gotten just insanely big. So if they're going to do anything, they're going to have to do like a complete reboot of all those characters.
Yeah, and that's nobody wants to see that again. They've done it so well, It's just like, how can you reboot it at this point?
I know. I don't think there's any one of those characters after like all the reboots that I'm really
You
like
know how
not
you
happy
reboot
with.
it is you bring Tobey Maguire back as Spider-Man. That's what you do
Oh
in the
my God,
Avengers.
no.
I'm just playing.
Oh, I mean, so if they reboot it in 10 years, then that'll be appropriate.
Yeah, for
Or
sure.
20 years or something, like something where everyone's gonna be like, oh man, those old Avenger movies were sweet, and then it's like Avengers: A New
Boom.
Dawn,
Yeah,
20 years
exactly.
later, everyone's like, oh snap, and a bunch of actors that you know we haven't heard about, or they're just up and coming now, playing them when they're actually 20 years older. Be sweet.
Yeah.
But
Yep. Anyway, well, that was the movie corner of the podcast. Did you score anything on Black Friday last week?
I bought Pikachu Pokemon, which was not on sale,
Yeah.
but I got Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition
Oh,
for $10 on
$10. Yeah,
PS4.
I saw that. I
Yeah.
played the whole game and beat it all. It's
Oh, you
amazing.
have?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, I'm glad I got like it was $10. I tried to get another game, but it was they'd already sold out of it because I went on Cyber Monday because all those deals ran
Mm,
through Monday, and
yeah,
they're like, yeah, we already sold out of that like 2 days ago. It's like crap. So
that's cool. Yeah, I got a Amazon Echo Dot. I had the second gen, but I bought the third gen because it was really cheap, and you got a smart plug for $5. So, but it's
nice.
actually really cool. The new Echoes, the new Echo Dot, especially the sound is so much better. It's really nice. So I was happy I got that, and
When
then
did,
I got a printer for $20 at Walmart.
ooh, when did the new dot come out? Like I think I have the second one.
It came out a couple months ago. Yeah,
Okay.
so they
I must.
redid their entire line, and they actually added an Echo subwoofer,
Hmm.
which you can tie into all your Echoes if you have them around the house.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have? So why did you do? Like I have two Amazon Echoes, and I got one as a gift. Like Amazon was running a thing, and they were like $30 for the hockey puck, and I
Yeah.
think I inherited another one. But do you like the Echo rather than the Google Home? That's like another one that people or like I don't think anyone has the Apple one.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who has the HomePod because it's pretty freaking expensive. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm just never been a Google guy, like any of the devices or any phones or anything like that. And the Amazon has synced up with I'm an Apple guy as far as phone and stuff like that, and it's synced up pretty well with that. And I kind of just got it because it was cheap last year at Black Friday time.
Hmm.
It was like $20, and so I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, I'll give this thing a try for $20. I don't know if I'd pay 50 for it, but for 20, and then like I've loved it because I'm a smart home guy too, and I use what they call Wink smart hub,
Hmm.
and it
Syncs
controls
it
all
up.
of that seamlessly. Like you don't even have to. You just set up the skill, and you don't have to set up your lights or anything. You just be like, Alexa, turn this on, or Alexa, do that. So it's pretty
Cool.
cool. Yeah, like
Y-
Alexa will literally start my car for me. That's how cool it is.
Oh, do you have it hooked up to do you have an OnStar?
Yeah, you have that free OnStar for the first 5 years
Crazy.
of owning your car. And I'm like, Alexa, tell Chevrolet to start my car, and boom, car started.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know that like I mean pretty much I think both of them work really well. Like they did a comparison of them, and I have the Alexa one, and I've used it. I haven't used it that much, honestly. I haven't even had them hooked up that much, or for the
hmm
for the past couple of months. But the Google and the Alexa ones are like the only ones to use. Like I've literally never heard anyone have the HomePod, and
yeah,
obviously Siri is the worst. So I don't think anyone would want that talking to you.
yeah. Yeah, it's cool too because I use it like it's in our like kitchen sort of that goes into our living room area, and so like if I need to get in touch with my wife and she goes for really long periods without looking at her phone because she's taking care of the kiddo, and so if I need like something I can literally just drop into that and be like, hey, is anybody there? And we can it's like you can use it like an intercom system, which is
Intercom.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Well, sweet, yeah, and I like I said, I just got like those two games. I wish I could have got some more, but they were just all sold out. But
Yeah.
it
It's
is what
funny
it
because
is.
I live in like such a small town. I went to Walmart here in town just to check it out, like first thing in the morning, thinking it would be like overcrowded, and there was like hardly anybody there, and like all the deals were still there and everything. It was pretty funny.
Oh, nice.
Life in a small town. Everybody went to like the nearest bigger town to go shopping, I guess.
Man, I was where I was going camping this last weekend. It was a really small town as well, where or the nearest town was where
hmm
I don't I mean I would imagine it's where kind of where you live.
Yeah,
Once I come out there, we'll know for sure. But I mean,
yeah.
it did not have that much, and everyone was just
What's the town
um,
called?
San Saba.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. They just have a couple, one bank, a Walmart, and
Yeah,
a Piggly Wiggly or something like that.
yeah, our town's a little more hopping than that. But yeah, definitely on that kind of scale.
Yeah, I maybe not that town that I passed through, but there was a one like Lampasas is another town that's kind of, you
Pretty
know,
similar. Yeah,
yeah, I think it's about like the same population as yours, and
gotcha.
Austin is definitely not like that, but
No, no, not at
but
all.
yeah, no, I know it was nice though. Like just driving down the street, didn't see too many cars, and
Mm-mm.
there's like one stoplight in the entire town. I was like, dang, I wish I could
Yeah, that's funny.
deal deal this.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yep. Well, anyway, I think that pretty much wraps us up. We're going on 45 minutes here. I don't know if you wanted to talk about. We had this best PS4 games up to date, but maybe we can talk about that next round.
Yeah, we can just talk about it. It just was just some cool games of like 2018, kind of wrapping it up because we're getting into December now. So
Yeah, that'd be cool to do like a little part of a podcast to just kind of do a wrap up on 2018 games that have come out this year and then what we're really looking forward to, which is Kingdom Hearts.
oh yeah, that's all I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, man, they tweeted out that they wrapped development on it and sometime
They
next
better. It's
month.
like 2 months away.
Yeah, sometime next month they're going to release the final trailer for it, which every trailer that comes out I'm just like, give me more.
It's crazy that even for a game been in development this long and everything, there's not that. If you think about it, for how big this game is going to be, there's really still not that much out. There's a couple trailers,
Yeah,
but they're not even like posted all over the place. It's just like, yeah, like
it's
people who,
happening.
yeah, it's happening. People who want this and have been wanting it for a long time, we don't even need to advertise that much. You're just going to get the game and go for it.
Yeah, I honestly don't even think we've tipped the iceberg on it, like the whole and what the entire thing's going to be just from what we've seen.
No, that's what I'm saying is like there's what been 4 or 5 trailers and just a little bit of gameplay, but the world is supposed to be massive. So I think they're purposely leading us to not to say, I mean, because there's been like zero story leaks, you
Yeah,
know?
no. I have like other than just the lead up games and stuff, like I don't really know 100% about what direction it's going to go in.
Yeah, because this is the last one. They're gonna end it here, right? Kingdom Hearts 3 is the last one. It better be.
Yeah, it
So
is. It's the last game in the entire series. They're blowing it up after this and being done with it.
right. So I mean, there's a lot of story to be told and to have and everything else like that. So um, I really like that because it used to be that way with games where it was super under wraps and it was hyped up, and then you'd come out and you play it and it was like everything was new. But nowadays, like the story, you kind of know exactly what's going to happen with every game that comes out. But Square Enix did a good job of keeping it under wraps, so it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and yeah, that's really cool. I read that the development team for Kingdom Hearts is now going to go over and finish the Final Fantasy VII remake game, which that's going to be awesome. So
Should have been done like 10 years ago, but
yeah,
hey,
literally like 8 years ago they announced this game, it feels like, and they're
They just
finally, because they put all the focus into Kingdom Hearts and they kind of pushed it aside. They've been working on it, but now they've said all those people that have been working on Kingdom Hearts are finally going over there to help finish that. So we may have 2 pretty awesome games on our hands next year.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean
With
it's just so silly, or not silly. It's just hilarious because everyone's been wanting this. They've the first trailer that came out was for PS3, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if you just finish this game, like you would have millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But you know how they're so particular, which is a good thing as well, that it's going to basically be Advent Children like 2.0
In a video
when it comes out. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I think even with with Kingdom Hearts, they wanted to use Unreal 4 engine on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure whenever like the Final Fantasy VII remake comes out, it's gonna look beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna look epic. Yeah.
Yeah, 4K
Yeah, it's gonna be
goodness.
good. One more little bit of business. What are we gonna do next week, as far as games?
Man, I have not even thought about it. I picked this one, so I think it's your turn to pick.
Okay. Do you want to? Let's just kind of bounce around. Let's not just stick to one thing. Now that we've done like 5 Super Nintendo games and a Genesis game, let's go to something else. Like another console system, like a Nintendo 64 or a PlayStation.
Yeah, let's do
Let me
it.
see. Games. Let me see here. Something kind of simple. We could do GoldenEye.
Ooh, I'm down.
Okay. All right. GoldenEye for Nintendo 64. Done.
Yeah. Cool. All right, man.
And hopefully we'll get a chance to play that one together a few rounds.
Oh
as
yeah.
well.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to teach you what first person shooters are all about, my friend.
Yeah, I've never been historically good at those, but it'll be
No,
fun. I
the-
just remember playing this game as like a preteen, like so much with all our
Oh, I
friends.
know. Like
Yeah.
that and Perfect Dark 2, we played so much at your house and with everyone else, but
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
much fun.
There's times when you wrecked us all, so we'll have to see.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get there. The man with the golden gun.
It's the one shot wonder.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, man. Well, that pretty much wraps us up for today, unless you have anything else to say.
Hey man, good to be back. Good to talk with you, and
Yes.
we will see everyone next week.
Yes, and we will definitely get to it next week. My schedule's calming down. I think yours is probably too. So we will be on the roll with that. So for sure.
Yeah, next week, probably for the next 3 weeks, and then there's Christmas and around Christmas break too. So we may just record one more for people to listen to
Oh yeah, and we are
over
going to
Christmas.
be able to see each other in Georgia.
Man, maybe we should do a in-person one. That'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be fun if we could. Or at least we're gonna have some kind of a drop on the podcast where we're like, "Yo, it's the Karate in the Garage podcast" or whatever from the wedding or something. We'll do it. We'll do something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I'll have my laptop and I could bring a couple mics because we're driving there, so we could do it
Awesome,
for
man.
sure.
Cool, man.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. Take it easy, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Later. Thanks again for listening. If you'd like to send us a message, you can email us at KITGPodcast@gmail.com or tweet us at KITGPodcast on Twitter.